going from like working to somebody else for somebody else to being an entrepreneur and owning your own thing, like what do you feel like is the biggest misconception of entrepreneurship?
I love what I do, and like I don't feel like I actually go to work every day. Like I'm a trainer for Allergan, so like I train people all over the United States to inject Botox filler, all that. And now I'm a national trainer for Solta. Everybody thinks that it's just like, oh my gosh, like so just always rainbows and butterflies, and it's not. Like I'm working nonstop. It's nonstop, but it's also like if you're super passionate about it,
passion's like everything.
It doesn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? If I hated it and I was working this much, oh my gosh, like there's literally no way.
Get ready. Today on Hello Dreamer, we're joined by Madison Shreeve, a board-certified nurse practitioner who's making waves in the skincare world right here in Newport Beach. As one of the youngest rising stars in cosmetic dermatology, Madison is the founder of dermclúb, where she blends chic European beauty and wellness with cutting-edge aesthetic care. She's also a national trainer and speaker for the Allergan Medical Institute, sharing her expertise on everything from PRP for natural collagen to Botox and fillers. And if that wasn't enough, she's gearing up to launch her own podcast, The Newport Psycho, where she gets real about facing your inner psycho. Let's jump into Madison's story and see how she's leading the way in the beauty industry.
Well, thanks for coming today. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We're stoked to have you.
I'm excited.
I want you to talk about your podcast for a second, because I feel like you guys are gonna fucking kill it.
Dude,
like
we're
your
gonna blow up.
concept is like so unique,
Give
and
it
I
to
feel like
us.
no one's doing it.
Okay, so me and one of my best friends, Ashley, it was actually her idea. This is her baby. I just got to jump along, so I am down to be on that bandwagon. I was super pumped.
You guys are great together.
Yeah.
Like your banter together back and forth.
It's
is
like
great.
a perfect pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of their first guests, and A+, you guys did amazing.
Yeah, you guys have to listen to it because your episode is going to be by far my favorite. But it's called The Newport Psycho. And it doesn't have to be just in Newport, but it's a person, place, or thing that makes you psycho or is your psycho in your life. So for instance, like Ashley's psycho was Casa by the Sea.
Yeah.
I said it right?
Yeah.
I kept putting Casa Day by the Sea. I don't know why. So
that sounds like really special.
that sounds really special.
Yeah.
So
I basically got sent to a Mexican prison for 4 months of my life, and it was a living hell.
Yeah. So it's anywhere from that to we have Olympians on there. We have people that are Instagram famous, like their psychos are like the trolls on Instagram, or it can be an ex-boyfriend. It can be literally a person, place, or thing that has made a psycho in your life. And so that's why I love this podcast, because every episode is going to be so different and so unique. Once our platform goes viral, goes huge, like it doesn't have to just be localized to Newport. We're going to have psychos. We're going to have people tell their stories
I
across
love
the
it. You
United
call them
States.
psychos.
Yeah. I love it.
I mean, yes, everybody has a psycho. One day I'll be able to tell mine, but not till then. And yeah, I'm super
Wait,
excited
can you
about
tell
it.
Ashley's yet or no?
Ashley's psycho, the reason this whole thing
Because
started.
this is like fucking psycho.
I can't say it yet. It's going.
Okay.
So listen, because it's going to probably be our first
that's right.
or
Okay.
last episode.
Oh,
on
you told me
season
about
2.
it.
On season 2.
Yeah.
On season 2. So
Okay.
we want people to have to we're going to get you hooked, and then you have to wait.
Yeah, and you're going to
So-
seed it in everyone, right?
Yeah, but it's been phenomenal. I've been so lucky. Obviously, that's more of a passion project, totally aside from my career. But right now,
Tell us about your career.
so I am a nurse practitioner in Newport Beach, California. I've been anywhere from Denver to San Diego. Here, I go across the country to train for Allergan Medical Institute as well. So I own my own practice. I just opened it up this last year.
What's it called?
It's called
Congrats.
dermclúb. We
I
have,
love
two,
it.
we have 2 great clients right here. So
This is all natural.
yeah,
best.
you guys look great. What are you talking about?
Best lips.
You guys
Diet and exercise.
don't freaking J-Lo my ass, okay? Don't tell your viewers
I
this
tell
is
everyone
just
what I
olive
got.
oil. I'm gonna
No.
no, I know you guys are. You guys are great. But
I would.
Get a
I
couple
mean,
little shots
I'm ready
here
to
and
go
there.
under the knife.
my lips are sealed though. I do have clients that are like, you will not tell a soul I do this, and I'm zippa the lippa. So you can trust me.
Botox is legit.
Yeah,
Let's just put it out
Botox
there.
is life, people.
Yeah, it's life changing. So what was like the aha moment? Like what made you like, I'm gonna do this?
Burnout. honestly, like I was so burnt out for working for other people. And I know that sounds like everybody kind of gets there, but I was to the point where it was affecting my relationship, affecting my health, affecting so much in my life that I was like, if I'm going to go like work this damn hard, why am I doing it for somebody else? And honestly, it was a client of mine. I've been so blessed with my clients, but I have a lot of entrepreneurs and multi-million dollar clients, which is great. And they kind of mentored me. And one guy was just like, why aren't you doing this yourself? Like, if you're going to bust your balls, like own your own company and have like a root in the door and like have shares and have like make it your own. Yeah. And it kind of just realized, I was like, damn, if I'm going to be like this stressed out working for somebody else, making them so much money, like why wouldn't I do it for myself?
Do you feel like it was like the person you were working for, or do you feel like it just in general you wanted to do your own thing?
No, because like it's, I think in general, I think I've always had that fire in me to open my own practice and like do my own thing. But I think it got to the point where I was so stressed out, like my cortisol levels were through the roof. Like I had to go to an endocrinologist and I took all these tests and they literally thought I had a brain tumor. That's how high my cortisol levels were, and they weren't dropping with any tests that they would do. And so I had to get an MRI and all this stuff. And then he just was like, oh no, you must just be really stressed out. I'm like, okay, so
I'm out of here. I'm starting my own thing.
I think that like, honestly, I think it was just like a sign from God. Like I'm very, very much into my faith. And I think that he was just saying like, listen to your body. Yeah. And I think that's like my main thing is like, you should always listen. Like there is an instinct. And I think it was just time. Like I just felt it within me.
Now, did you, without, I guess, throwing somebody under the bus, did you feel like you respected your old employer? Or is it just more like, fuck, you watched like how things unfold, right? Mm-hmm. In the office, I would go to your office, right? And you were like, this is like plug and play for me. I could fucking do this. Like, I don't need this person to tell me what to do.
So I'm like.
Or people.
Yeah, I am, what is that? Loyal to a fault. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't. I mean, I think I respect everybody I've ever worked for, whether they've like done me wrong or not done me wrong. Yeah. This industry, unfortunately, there can be the most amazing people in this industry. There really are, but there can be some people that aren't so amazing. And I'm just one of those people that I treat people the way that I would want to be treated. So whether they've disrespected me, I never want to disrespect somebody else. That's just not who I am.
So I will tell you this now, just being able to compare, right? What you're building currently, right?
Yeah.
And your old situation. When I would go into your old office, it was like kind of cold, a little stale, not like a family team feel. And when I come into your new spot, I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, you can tell like everyone loves to be there. Yeah. Like, you guys are really close together.
Just the energy.
Yeah.
I feel like,
but I feel like that's everything.
The energy is different.
Totally. Yeah. And that's just it. Like any office I've ever worked for, previous offices, they were more like medical, or I've worked for plastic surgeons, things like that. I really wanted to make it Maddie. And like when you walk in, like, it's like me. And like, that's my whole goal is I focus more on quality, not quantity. I'm not a factory. I really take time with my patients. Each one of my patients gets an hour with me. So whether just honestly to make them feel comfortable, it's more of a concierge practice. And that's like really what I wanted to be. And so I'm glad that you feel that way, because like, that's my whole goal is I want it. Like, welcome to the club. Like, you're a part of this club. Like, it's an exclusive membership. Yeah. Like, no willy-nilly can just come in. It's like we really take time with our patients, and I want you guys to feel taken care of.
Well, I will tell you this, day one, I did feel that. And I'm kind of in the type of world you are, right? A service business, a make people feel good business, a leave a lasting impression business, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of the health. And that was the first thing that struck me. Yeah. I was just like, oh my God, this is so much different than the factory that I used to go into before.
Yeah.
Where I felt like, we got to wait outside, right? Then you got to be called in. Then you got to sit in this fucking room, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like, you're there, you greet people. All of you, all the girls are there, they're greeting people. You guys are handing out drinks. Like, it's bright and airy and fun and cute. And like, I don't know. Kudos to you.
What did you do? Yeah. What did you do before this?
So,
well, you were in school a long time, right? Like how many years of school?
I was in school for, for my undergrad. So I got my nurse practitioner. So my undergrad BSN was 4 years. And then nurse practitioner was technically 2, but it's because I did summers. So it would have been a 3-year program. So like if you take summers off, but I went right through. So it was like 6, a little
Did you
over
take
6.
the NCLEX or whatever?
I did. I took the NCLEX.
Have you ever heard of simple nursing?
Well, no, but apparently I needed to. I wish I would have learned that.
Yeah.
You told me about your buddy, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what?
I
How
know
did I
he
not
started.
know this when I took the test? I got so blessed though. I passed both tests with the minimum amount of questions.
Oh,
So
damn.
I didn't have to like, oh, thank you, Lord baby Jesus, because I got so lucky with that.
Yeah.
On a side note, Chris, thank you for all that and I would be nothing without my team. I just have to put that out there. Like they are literally incredible.
Yeah, you are your team.
I just had to give them a shout out.
Yeah,
Go
your
team.
team.
Love you.
You can't do
Love
things,
you, bitches.
You can't
Love
do, you can't do things by yourself,
it's
whether
so
you're the
true.
business owner or not. Like you work, and we're on a tangent here, but like when you own something and you have people that work for you, in quotes, I
Or
hate
with
I hate
you,
the
yep.
word boss.
No, I say
It's
with.
more with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate the word
it's with
employee.
me.
Like we're a team, right?
Yeah. No, team and culture is
Yeah,
like literally everything.
it's everything.
Yeah.
But you're working for them. It's not the other way. It's not like they work for you. That's why I hate like, oh, skip the 9 to 5, work for yourself. Don't make anybody else money. It's like, no, I'm making you money too.
I want us
I'm
all to
helping your
prosper.
growth. I'm supporting your growth.
Yeah.
Right. But as a business owner, you work for your staff
Mm-hmm.
or your team. It's not the other way around. Yes, they are out there working and playing their part, just like the fucking kicker or the quarterback or the second baseman or whatever on a team. They have a specialty and they're doing their part, but you're working for them. And the day that ends is the day you start to lose people.
Exactly.
Or the day your culture breaks. You will always.
Chris is very passionate
No,
about
I love
this.
that.
Like he's like
Chris. I always tell people I'm like Kim Kardashian. If I go up, my sisters go with me.
Oh
so
my God. I can't relate to that.
shout out Kim K. I love you.
Were you scared starting your own thing?
Oh, I
Like
was
was there
scared.
fear? Like what was that fear?
I was scared shitless because okay, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to like say, oh, poor me. Like, but I don't come from money. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I had to, I mean, I never had to like want food. I always had a roof over my head. Right. But like,
Yeah.
I didn't come from a lot. Like my parents couldn't pay for my school. Like I paid for all my own schooling. Like I
Good
got
for you.
so lucky. Like my dad is incredible. He co-signed on my loans, but it was a thing where I knew that I was paying those back. Like he
Yeah.
could never pay. Like that's not even an option. Like, so I thought about it all the time. I was like, oh my gosh, like if I'm going to do this, like I was walking away from a 401k, health insurance. Like I am not going to say I didn't get paid well. I got paid extremely well, but I worked my ass off.
Yeah.
That's why I got paid so well.
Yeah.
And walking away from that like consistent money, like you know that you're going to get like at least your salary.
Cash flow.
Yeah, right? That it's scary. And I'm
Reliable
like,
cash flow is the most comforting thing ever.
oh yeah.
Did it
It's
take you
great.
a while to like make that jump?
Oh, yeah.
Like how
I
long
thought
were you
about
like,
this-
I'm gonna go do my own thing? I'm gonna like how long was the process?
I think that like I've wanted to do my own thing for probably before I even moved to California, back to California. So
Oh,
about
damn.
4 years I've
Yeah.
thought about it. And then one of my girlfriends told me to do it like about a year in when I moved here. And I didn't really like take the leap until it really started like affecting like more relationship wise, health wise, everything like that. So I'd say like I really kind of got a fire under my ass where I was considering doing it, like just even considering it like a year. And then, you know, I would think about it more at 6 months. And then
Did you get to a breaking point? Because I feel like some people get to a point where they're like, I can't do this anymore. I can't work a 9 to 5. I can't work for somebody else. And like they get to that point where they're just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
it literally kind of led there. So it wasn't like this was all like pre-planned. I didn't really have anything planned. It just kind of happened. And so, I mean, I didn't even start my practice till over a month after I left my old office. So I wanted to be super respectful. Like I said, even if I'm not treated with respect, not saying I wasn't, but I'm always going to give be the person I want to be. And so like I gave them a 30-day notice. I offered to work till the end of the year. Like I didn't reach out to any client, zero. And I didn't have a place to go for a month, and I was just kind of scrambling.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know where our office is going to be.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll let you know. So it wasn't like this was like, you know,
I'm like,
some
I
people.
need Botox.
Yeah, some people in this industry really have their office set up and they're actually seeing clients before they quit somewhere. That's not how it was. It was kind of like that aha moment where I was just like, okay, like if I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna do it, and it just happened. And
Was there fear attached to that? Like, what was your biggest fear?
hell yeah, my biggest fear was failure, honestly. And I got so much closer to my faith in this. If fear is a liar, and that's like my biggest thing is you can't fear the unknown or you're never going to do it. And so I just had to like kind of trust more in myself and my team, and thank God that it's been amazing. But I think my like biggest thing where like I knew that this was going to work was when we hit numbers in 2 weeks that I projected in 6 months.
That's great.
Damn.
Like it was amazing. And that's only seeing 6 patients a day. Like I
That's
really take
so
my time
amazing.
with patients.
I feel like that's a common theme that we are going to experience with our guests, but people that own businesses, and we're out there in the real world talking to other people, talking to other business owners, other entrepreneurs. Biggest fear for people, for the most part, it's always going to be fear. The fear of failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Failure is, right? You got to fail 9 times.
That's something that I like am big on, because I feel like I feel like a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, and they have like, they're the person that they could be an entrepreneur, but they're just afraid to take that first leap. Like they're just afraid to start. And like, but once you start, like, even if you don't have it figured out, you figure it out along the way, or one situation will lead you to one conversation, which will lead you to like the right decision. And I feel like people don't get that because like they don't start.
Well, for Maddie specifically, right? And I don't want to like, this is our guest right now. I want you to keep going, but this is a great point to make this point, is that you were doing what you're doing now before. It's not like you had like this aha moment where like, I want to do this and boom, I'm going to start. Because we know that to do something like that, start something out of thin air, you're probably going to fail. But you had experience. You built like a resume essentially of experience, and you got confident enough to like, oh, I could do this no problem. This is going to be easy essentially.
Like people are coming
but
for
there
me.
was still fear. There was still fear.
100%.
It wasn't like you had this idea, I'm going to start this business. Let's see if it works or not. Because chances are you're going to fail. But it takes failure. Those are the best learning lessons, right?
I would love to know this statistic. I'm pretty sure it's like 70% of businesses
90.
fail. 90 in the first year?
Yeah.
Isn't it
And
within
then
the
there's
first
a
year?
big one, like most companies don't get to $1 million in revenue. Like
Yeah,
I want to say like 1% of companies like get to that $1 million in revenue mark.
And then the 5-year anniversary, if you've made it, if you can run a business for 5 years, then
It's
chances
big,
of you
especially
getting to
for
10.
women. It's even bigger.
So I think that like, I was lucky in that perspective that I was pretty much like, I hate to sell it, but I'm selling myself, like me. And like, I know who I am, and like, I will go, like, I have been networking like crazy. Like I've been busting my ass to really make sure that like my company stays afloat. And not only that, but like now I have responsibility for, like you said, Chris, like people under, like with me. And I want to make sure that like they made the right decision too. Cause like these people, they could have gone and, gone and worked for somewhere else, anything like that, but they trusted in me. And it's like, if they trusted in me, why the hell wouldn't I trust in myself?
Yeah.
If I have like 4 or 5 women saying like, oh no, like Maddie's got this, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, damn
Totally.
right, I'm gonna have
That
this.
makes you push harder.
I'm like, oh, damn right, I'm gonna have this, because I'm never gonna like be the reason that somebody else like doesn't like make rent, doesn't like have money. Like there's no way. Like I will work.
You're working
as much
for
as I
them.
Yeah.
You are working for them.
Did you have a mentor in all of this?
I would say like, obviously I've been so like blessed to like, when I first started, I got to work for like one of the best plastic surgeons in Denver, Colorado. But I would say like my true mentor would be like my family, like my dad, my mom, and my sister. Like I would seriously be nothing without them. Like no matter like the situation, like they are like my ride or dies. Like they just support me. They love me. Like I have never, like, even when they couldn't support me financially, they always supported me emotionally and just like supportively. Like whatever I want to do in life, like my parents will like 100, well, obviously, as long as it's like good things, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they just love and support me. And it's just like, to have that, like to have somebody to lean on is everything. Like I would rather my dad give me that than all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
No, it's
the
everything.
love that he shows me, and like my sister and my mom, like it's just the most amazing thing. Like I would be nothing today if it weren't for them. So
money, the carrots that get dangled, in front of you are nothing compared to being emotionally supported with love and compassion.
He's the best. He's
you're like
the biggest, my biggest cheerleader in the world.
You both are
I love
like,
him.
first of all, you both are like the best parents ever, but like you both are amazing individuals. Like, and that's why like right when we met you both, that's why we just like connected because
Yeah.
I just
Well, I feel like we're like real people, you know?
Yes.
Like some people aren't,
And
I
we're
feel
like-
like,
yeah,
especially
and-
here in Newport
I know.
Beach.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that was definitely a different place to start my business. Like Denver compared to here.
Oh yeah.
So
The
different.
polar opposite.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
So I've been so blessed to have like so many good people around me, but it's all from networking. I'm talking like, how did we meet? It was through Andrew, right?
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
my best friend, Rose, her husband like introduced us and like
Yeah.
that's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like good people like really
Find each other.
find each other. Like
Yeah.
exactly. So I've been very
Networking
lucky.
is everything.
It is.
Going from like working to somebody else for somebody else to being an entrepreneur and owning your own thing, like what do you feel like is the biggest misconception of entrepreneurship?
Gosh, that it's glamorous. Like always glamorous. Don't get me wrong. Like I love what I do. And like, I don't feel like I actually go to work every day. Like I'm a trainer for Allergan. So like I train people all over the United States to inject Botox filler, all that. And now I'm a national trainer for Solta. They're a medical sales device that's like for resurfacing and tightening. And then I own my own business too. So I mean, everybody thinks that it's just like, oh my gosh, like so just always rainbows and butterflies, and it's not. Like I'm working nonstop. Like I told you today, I'm doing your podcast, I'm doing a photo shoot, and then I'm doing my own podcast. Like it's nonstop. Yeah. But it's also like if you're super passionate about it,
Passion's like everything.
It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I hated it and I was working this much, oh my gosh, like there's literally no way.
Yeah.
But it's not all rainbows and butterflies, and you have to work your ass off to get to where you are.
Why do you think that people glamorize entrepreneurship? Why do you think it's glamorized?
I think that social media.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody even me, like I have like
I get tricked all the time. I'm
Me
like,
too.
should I be doing that?
Yeah, should I be
instead
doing
of
that? Like,
this?
I mean, I actually have been like, I know people from like, just an example. I know people from Selling Sunset, and I'm like, literally, I watched that show and I was like, should I get my real estate license? Like, I feel like I should do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
You're like,
I feel like I can do
TV,
this.
selling these
I
houses.
feel like I should do
door
this.
knocking.
I feel like I should sell
Guys.
houses.
We're
Like,
gonna
you
have
know,
a lot
but-
of them on here.
No, but like you think about that, and I'm like, and then I talked to my girlfriend who's on it, and she's like, no, it's like so, and I'm like, no, like you don't realize how hard it is. And then like, of course, like I'm like, oh my gosh, duh, Maddie.
Well,
but
'cause
like you get like
people-
wrapped into it. You're like, oh
well,
my
I feel
god.
like people put like the best things out there too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's like, I don't know how hard it is to be a nurse.
Well,
I only see all of your stuff that you post on Instagram that looks like so fun. And the same with the real estate agent.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'm like,
but
wow.
that's a produced Netflix situation. Like that is meant to. Yes, a lot of those
But so
situations
is
are real.
Instagram. Instagram is produced
That's where I'm
every
going
single
with
day.
this.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with this. Yeah,
100%.
most people are going to put out their highlight reels.
Yeah.
Most people are going to show you how cool it is to be an entrepreneur and own your own business and drive this cool car and like go, travel. And, most people glamorize entrepreneurship. And we've talked about this with a couple of the guests already. And we talked about this
It's
all the
funny,
time.
like a lot of like, it's weird because I never like have sat down with like so many, even we've done 4 of these, but it's like everyone says the same thing and they think the same thoughts.
As we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we do. And
It is-
we know this just from, everything's sensationalized, right? Online. Like you go online, it's just in front of you, right? And it's so overwhelming, and the consumption of content and how people consume content. I could go on a whole fucking tangent about this, but I honestly think, because I do employ a lot of younger people, there is an epidemic right now with younger people because everything's so sensationalized. And I see people doubting themselves. I see depression, and a lot of it, if not most of it, has to do with people comparing themselves to the highlight reel, the scrolling.
No, it's true. It's true.
It's so fucking sad to me. And I'm just like, dude, go outside. Go on a run. Go paddleboard.
It's with
go
everything
look somebody
with
in the
life,
eye.
though. You know, it's with everything. It's not just entrepreneurship. It's relationships. It's
For sure.
like everything that like we see what other people supposedly
think,
have,
yeah. We
right?
think
What
we
we
see.
think. And we're like, oh my gosh, my life should be like that, I mean, I can't tell you how many people reach out to me that are other nurses and they're like, I want to do what you do. Like, how did you do it? And I'm all about, like, I'm so much for community over competition. And that's what, like, not a lot of people are about that. And especially in this area.
I would say it's very hard to find that.
I train offices that are a block down from me exactly how I do things, because at the end of the day, if somebody wants to go to them over me, Like, why would I stop that? Like, if you want, I want people to love me for me, love my work, and like choose to come to me over somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that I have to degrade or like kind of hide my stuff from somebody else. Like, that's like what it's about. But not everybody's about that, you know? And so, but even when nurses reach out to me, like, well, what did you do? And I'm like, well, I really like, I started working for $25 an hour at a plastic surgery office to
and worked my way up
to get my way in there, you know? And I'm just honest.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that. They think they could take one course and be like amazing. And it's not that. It's years of practice.
Well, because people want instant gratification.
Oh yeah, exactly. We're the microwave. I always tell people we're the microwave, like this right now, society.
Generation.
We're the microwave generation. We want it done and we want it fast. It tastes way better in the oven when you slow cook it, but we don't give a shit. We want to put it right in the microwave.
Yeah.
Be done.
I mean, people come to me, they're like, how do I launch a product and get it in Whole Foods? Because Whole Foods is like the diamond account you want to be in. But it's like, it took me 5 years to get into there.
How long did you
like, I literally had to knock on their door for 5 years before they said yes to me.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, some people, they do fall into it, like, and good for them. But for 90%, I would probably say 95% of people, like, you really have to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that people understand that.
It's social media. You know,
I know.
It's really sad.
Don't get me wrong. I love my social media, but sometimes
relationships, businesses, just the glamorizing of life, money. The funniest thing is when I see broke ass people wearing designer clothing. I'm like, and I know this person.
I have to have a nice purse. But like, other than that, like, I'm done buying designer shit.
Like, there's like certain things that I like nice, but like, I'm very much like, I'd rather go on like a nice vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I would rather go to Cabo for a week than have a fucking purse.
I don't give a fuck about your
like
Gucci or your Louis Vuitton or your bullshit shoes. Like, get out of here. Shoes get dirty.
Yeah. No, we're not about that life. Me and my boyfriend are like, okay, at this point, we're just going to elope because I don't want to spend that much on a wedding. It's for one day.
I think weddings are a waste of money too.
No, I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. No,
what's the saying about designer clothing? Designer clothing make poor people look rich.
Or something like that.
It
is true because like my most wealthiest clients, you would
look like the average Joe.
You would never know.
Dude, the guy who's just sitting in your seat is making literally millions a month, and he walked in a t-shirt and shorts.
I love him. I need to hook him up with one of my girlfriends.
Yeah, dude, let's do that.
I know. I will seriously do that.
Okay.
10% finder's fee.
Ryan Fisher, we're coming for you.
Ryan, 10% finder's fee.
How do you maintain like a good work-life balance, like with being so busy?
So sometimes
it's hard.
It's very difficult, especially like on days like today. Communication is key, and me just telling, like, especially like my family, like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, this week's crazy. Like, if you reach out to me and I don't like respond, just know that like I will get back to you. I think it's people lose that communication. We get so busy that we don't even like shoot a text back or whatever. Just communicate. Let them know like today is good. I even told my boyfriend this morning, I was like, yo, today's gonna be like balls to the walls. Like, I will
see you later, dude.
I will come back, but I will be 0 tonight. So you plan everything, you know? And like just communication. But I would say that. And then I'm lucky that I'm not, like we talked about, I'm not a factory, right? So like I don't do 10-minute Botox appointments. And it's nothing against those who do, but we're more of a concierge practice. So with that, it's like I only see a certain amount of patients a day to make sure that I give them my full potential. Like they get Maddie, like full Maddie, not like, you know, half of me or anything like that. Just so then there's enough to give to my family as well.
Yeah.
I don't totally drain my system.
I love that. I love that. We were just talking to Ryan before just about like how you're always plugged in and you're always working. Like, yes, this is true, but no matter who you are, business owner, non-business owner, you need time for not only for yourself, but you also need time to give to your loved ones, your children, whoever it is. Like there is a time and a place for all of that. And the moment you forget about that, everything can go sideways, right? Because everything starts in the home. Your businesses are always going to be better if your relationship's good. Like for us, we're always going to be good. Our kids are going to be better if we're good. And then by default, our businesses are always going to be better. So that's great. Like good open lines of communication, always understanding that if you're good outside of the workplace, no matter if you work for somebody or for yourself, that literally brings like exponential gains.
Too.
Exponential gains in the workplace, at work.
I feel that, and I feel also like if you're nonstop, put it in your schedule. Like you will do it if you put it in your schedule. So like
I live and die by a schedule.
Yeah,
she
me
does
and Karis,
basically.
like we do like a date, like even if it's coffee or whatever, like we put it on our schedule. Like that's gonna happen. Like Sunday we're going to Kit Coffee, love them, and we're gonna sit down and like even if we talk about like our week or whatever, like I want to go over your goals, everything like that. Like we make time for each other, and I think that's key. And another
We have
thing
our
is
Thursday date nights and our Saturday date nights.
Yeah,
See?
we have
Like,
we
yeah.
have 2 dates a week.
good.
But a lot
But
of
like
the
there's
times
seasons too where like you're like right now I'm trying to do this whole online course thing too. So it's like really busy. So
Yeah.
I think
But
it comes in
communicate.
seasons,
Yeah.
as well. Like if you can't always do them, like at least communicate, talk about it. Like the other person needs to understand
Make
where you
sure
are.
that they know. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, I would say just like over communicate. I think that's really key, and making sure that you do put it on your schedule.
Yeah.
And we turn off our phones. Like I don't know if this is something you guys do, but like I don't sleep
Absolutely.
with my phone next to me.
Mm-mm,
We have to
neither
have it
of us do.
downstairs. And I try not to do any calls after 7:30. And then if it's a text, I have to be done by 9:00. I literally put my phone away at 9:00 and I put it in the kitchen, and that's what it is.
We're
what
pretty
it
good
is.
at that at
Yeah, we're good
nighttime.
at that.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
plugged in. He goes on YouTube at night, like on his computer. But I feel like we're pretty good about that.
my phone goes into sleep mode at 9:00 every
That's
night.
great.
So
Yeah.
I can't even get an alert if I want to. And then both of our phones are not in our bedroom.
Yeah.
We have a TV in our bedroom, but no, that's good. It's good to be unplugged. It's because you want to be with your spouse or something.
For obviously medical purposes, like I do like do not disturb, but then if like my assistant or like the person on like
Yeah.
that looks at our weave, like if it's a medical situation, it will go through.
Yeah.
So then I know, but besides that, I just don't look at my phone.
Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to like future aesthetic nurses, what would it be?
Ooh, this one was good. Because like I want to give like a million pieces of it.
Well, because I feel like you're like the 1% of aesthetic nurses. Like, it's hard to work in like a really good med spa, and everyone wants to be an aesthetic nurse. Like, I
it's
actually
true.
would be curious, like, the percentage of nurses that go to nursing school, like, what percentage of those go
Oh my
for
gosh.
aesthetics?
I feel like nowadays it's so much more.
I know.
Like even like when
I thought about it.
Yeah, no,
I'm like,
it's
do I wanna do
okay.
this?
It's okay. I almost became a real estate agent too. And then my girlfriend was like, Maddie, I work so damn hard. I'm like, you're right. You literally do. I see what you do. I couldn't do what you do. Like they do so much. But I would say like nowadays it's so much like larger portion of people that want to do it.
Yeah.
It was so funny because when I was in NP school, like even 5 years ago, I was the only one out of my class. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this. Like I'm going to do aesthetics. And everybody was kind of like, like, you're not going to do medical, you know? Like I was like the black sheep.
Yeah.
Like people like shunned me, like shame, like ding, 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 like walking around. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, and now so many of those people have reached out to me and they're like, hey,
I
how
wanna
did
get
you,
in your
like,
field.
Yeah. Like how did you do? Like, you know, what did you do with like, to get into that, you know? And I'm like, oh,
What would you say
well.
the first step is? Is it like finding a plastic surgeon or a
Yeah,
plastic
like,
surgeon's office
I would
to work
say
in?
like, you know, my biggest thing is like, do it like really, oh, this is really hard to say. I guess I can't even fucking talk. Educate yourself. So like, what's it called? Invest. Thank you, Lord. Invest in yourself. So I always tell people like, you might not get it handed to you. Like take Botox courses, take other aesthetic courses. Like you're going to have to pay for it. So it's on your resume. So people see like, okay, they're committed. Like they're
So
not
that
just
continuous
waiting.
education
Yeah, they're
is
not
important.
just waiting for an office to teach them, right? They're like, hey, I did this myself. Like I already know like, you know, the roots of it. Like I just need to grow. And so that's what I would say.
That's a good tip.
And I think that like one thing, the biggest thing is trusting your gut. Like
I like live and die by my
that's
gut.
instinct, like instinctual, like ancestral. Like when we used to hunt, like when we used to do these things, right? There's a reason we say go with your gut because that's like an instinct. It's like
For sure.
It's another brain. Like it tells you like probably not, right? Over your head and your heart. And so if something doesn't feel right or like don't do it.
And your gut's not always right too, but it's nice to like have that rule to go by. One of our guests previous, he said, always learn before you earn. That was a perfect point you made, right?
Ooh, yeah.
It's even if you volunteer, you want to do something, you're passionate about something, even if you volunteer your time, go work for somebody who's an expert in the space. Go find the expert in the space and volunteer your time.
I mean, that's
you
what I would
will
do.
blow one of our buddies, my best friend, Justin Itzen. works.
He works for Oppenheimer.
He's the number one.
Their top producer in the whole entire office.
He's
Go
not on the show.
Justin.
He's their top producer. But he's not
smart.
on the show.
He didn't go on the show.
Yeah, he's not on the show. But I mean, he literally sat Jason down. He was like, meet me. No, I'm busy. No, I feel like you're making a mistake. Meet me. Fine, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Dang, go Justin.
Yeah. Went and sat in front of him. He's like, I think you'd be making a mistake if you don't hire me.
And now look at him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
you got to shoot or shoot,
Yeah.
dude. You got to shoot your shot. But
shoot your shot.
he sought out an expert in the space, the expert in the space, a broker down in Orange County. And he basically volunteered his time right out of the gates. He knew he wasn't going to make any money, right? So that's a great point to make. Go seek out the expert in your space, volunteer your time. Hell, they might even pay you for your time. Real life experience, because you have to build that just like what you did at your previous situation, which now parlayed you into this incredible thing that you have. And I think that's a great lesson that everyone can learn. You got to learn before you earn.
Well, thank you so much for being on here.
I know,
and
this
I
is
can't wait
great.
to listen to my podcast.
I know.
on your podcast.
Yes. And thank you for always taking care of us. We're gonna
Yes,
we'll leave all
best.
your information, all your
thank you
if
guys
you want to
so
shout
much.
out your business and your
Derm
social
Club.
handle. Derm Club, it's right here in Newport
Yep.
Beach, and your social handles.
At Madison Shreeve NP, and then at I think it's the Derm Club. I should know that.
I think it is the Derm
Yeah,
Club.
the Derm.
The
she
Derm
she
Club.
offers everything aesthetically for
Yes.
both
The
men and
best
women.
at lips, like
Yes, I got
natural.
you
She
guys.
won't overfill them. They're best.
Yeah, I will turn people away before I do that.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
yeah,
Can I use a little bit more?
No, you look great.
I feel like I'm ready
This
for just
woman.
I know.
just
She's
a little
stunning.
plump.
I know.
A little plump.
Just she is.
You maybe call me.
Yeah, she's got nice boobs.
Okay.
too.
Thank you guys so
Okay,
much.
thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We take great pride in what we're doing here, and we hope we're providing you guys with great content and something that you guys can learn from.
Pretty please leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to us on, whether it's Apple, YouTube, or Spotify, and follow us on social media, Hello Dreamer Media.
Thank you.